You might have caught wind of Harry feeling upset about King Charles stopping his financial support. Yet, it seems Harry forgets all the times the king paid countless bills for them. Let's dive deeper into this topic in our video. Hello friends, welcome to Royal the King YouTube channel. Harry mentioned that before he married Meghan Markle, his father, who was then Prince Charles, expressed concerns about not having enough money for her. However, the exact timing of this conversation remains unclear. Despite these concerns, reports show that King Charles took care of the expenses for Meghan's high-priced wardrobe. Meghan's preference for very costly clothing, including outfits costing thousands, was a strain on the finances. It's also noted that the king paid for Meghan's wedding dress and other expensive garments. Her taste for luxury might have influenced the king's decision to eventually reduce financial support. Harry accused his father of financial unfairness, but this accusation might not show the whole situation. It's important to note that after they left their royal duties, King Charles openly shared financial records that proved he continued supporting Harry and Meghan financially. This situation is quite tough for people in the UK to watch, especially as many struggle with their own finances. The public sees Harry and Meghan's spending on expensive clothing as excessive, especially when compared to Princess Catherine, who often wears clothes and jewelry more affordable and relatable to the general public. Meghan may not fully understand this perspective. When Harry, who was approaching 40, talked about being financially cut off in an interview with Oprah, he didn't mention the significant sums the king had transferred to his account to help him start a new life and set up a home, in addition to the funds he received when leaving the UK. Moreover, they never thanked Canada for hosting them and covering their security costs during their short stay. It's difficult to sympathize with two adults who complain about losing financial support after voluntarily stepping away from their roles, particularly since they left with millions of dollars. They didn't mention the substantial sums they received upon their departure and even questioned why his father wouldn't provide further financial help. Their lavish spending and Meghan's luxurious lifestyle are in sharp contrast to other members of the royal family who choose quality clothing designed to last for years. This underscores the gap between traditional royal values and celebrity culture. Harry and Meghan often appear to be seeking more benefits like free clothes and travel, which doesn't sit well with many. Despite this, King Charles has continued to provide direct support to them. It's likely that King Charles felt quite let down before he decided to stop their financial support. Despite the funds allocated for Meghan's wardrobe by King Charles, the results were sometimes less than flattering. This cessation of funding was officially recorded in palace accounts, just as Harry mentioned in his interview with Oprah. Additionally, well before the Queen's passing, it was reported that Charles had stopped taking Harry's calls. In turn, Harry began reaching out to the Queen, hoping she would convince Charles to speak with him. When the Queen questioned Charles about his reluctance to answer Harry's calls, Charles famously responded, "I am not a bank," highlighting that Harry's calls often involved financial requests. Considering Harry is married, it raises the question of why he would expect King Charles to continue funding Meghan's lifestyle. I think most people wouldn't expect their father-in-law to foot their bills. I certainly couldn't imagine choosing the priciest clothes and jewelry even if someone else was paying. Meghan, in this context, does seem to take advantage. Beyond the financial issues, she also made serious accusations against Charles, labeling him as racist and criticizing the royal family. She seemed to demand compliance from the family, or else face her displeasure, a truly troubling stance, with Harry seemingly not intervening. It was reported that Meghan's spending on her wardrobe in 1 year surpassed that of all other European royal ladies combined. Despite this high expenditure, her outfits often appeared poorly fitted, contrasting sharply with Princess Catherine, who often shops more affordably and still looks stunning. Catherine only opts for designer wear during royal events and is known for re-wearing her outfits. King Charles, known for his frugality, prefers allocating his funds to charities and worthwhile causes rather than indulging the extravagant demands of family members. I recall King Charles being unhappy with the cost of Princess Diana's wardrobe, yet Meghan's spending was even more extravagant. This makes the financial cutbacks for the Sussexes more understandable. Amidst these financial controversies, accusations surfaced from Meghan and Harry implying that King Charles harbored racist attitudes. Though these statements came from Omi, who is known to speak for them, Harry has never publicly disagreed with these claims. It seems twisting narratives to fit their view is a common strategy for the couple. Meghan stated in a magazine interview that she paid for her own wedding gown, yet reports contradict this, indicating that King Charles actually covered the cost. He also paid for her engagement dress, which alone cost PS $75,000. Her spending was notably higher than that of other royals, surpassing even the late Queen. There's a YouTube video detailing the annual wardrobe expenses of every working member of the European royal families, where Meghan's expenditure stands out significantly, even without her participation in any state occasions. It's truly bewildering. Despite the hefty price tags, Meghan often doesn't appear polished but rather disheveled and slightly unkempt. It raises the question, why spend so much on clothing? That money could instead help children in need of food, clothing, and medical care. If Meghan worked with a skilled stylist, she could not only refine her fashion sense but potentially save enough money to make charitable contributions. However, Meghan seems to prefer doing things her own way, seemingly uninterested in taking advice from others. She appears to believe that she knows better than everyone else, which might explain why she hasn't embraced guidance that could help both her public image and her wallet. Meghan made the mistake of assuming that Harry was independently wealthy, and Harry lacked the courage to correct her misconception. He was treating her to luxurious first-class flights and extravagant getaways to exclusive destinations for the wealthy. Meghan seemed to have a take mentality, much like her husband. When your own father won't take your calls because he assumes you're just going to ask for money, it's a clear sign that you're living beyond your means. It's absurd to see a grown man who declared he wanted financial independence cry because his father stopped giving him an allowance. Watching Harry complain to Oprah like a child left me speechless. He sounded like he was throwing a tantrum at age 10. Why did he feel the need to discuss his finances with Oprah? He needs to recognize how adept his wife is at exploiting their situation. Imagine never having to cook again, simply ringing a bell for your meals. Top designers lining up to dress you, with an annual allowance of millions for clothes and access to royal jewels worth millions more. But then, you're expected to curtsy and walk behind other royals, so you throw a fit and leave. It seems Meghan genuinely believed the royal family would keep funding her extravagant lifestyle. That's why her comments were both rude and misguided. Denying that her wardrobe expenses are a form of payment is just another falsehood. Meghan never truly desired the royal lifestyle, she craved the power and wealth it offered. Even in the most expensive designer dresses, she manages to look disheveled, as if she plucked them from a dumpster. All Meghan saw when she pursued Harry were dollar signs, and to make matters worse, her fashion choices often missed the mark, failing to flatter her. How old was Harry when he kept receiving financial support from King Charles even after Meghan entered the picture? It's clear they both possess a sense of entitlement and immaturity, which is not a good combination. It's ironic that the person they label as racist was the one giving her all that money. It's quite embarrassing to witness two grown adults complain about being cut off financially. It's almost amusing how Meghan underestimated the members of the royal family, thinking they were gullible and naive. She attempted to challenge an institution with centuries of history. Can you imagine Harry's family gradually realizing the extent of Meghan's deception? They must have felt as though all their efforts to support Harry were unraveling before their eyes. It's a pity that there wasn't enough money for Meghan, especially after she had already grabbed hold of the coffers with her greedy claws. Undoubtedly, the king had more than enough resources to indulge her extravagance, but wisely saw it as wasteful spending. Meghan Markle's wardrobe, reportedly costing around PS $1 million, has largely faded from public view since its initial sightings. The fate of these pricey outfits remains unclear. They could have been sold for profit, or perhaps Meghan didn't even purchase them but instead promoted them for free while using funds from King Charles. This situation appears to border on financial exploitation of Charles. It's high time for Harry to take responsibility and support himself and his wife financially like any other responsible adult would. Meghan seems to relish luxury only when someone else is footing the bill. When she's paying for her own clothes, she opts for cheaper options. However, regardless of the price tag, her clothing choices often fail to flatter her figure or style, with more affordable alternatives readily available. And it's not just her wardrobe that reflects this lavish lifestyle. She also travels with the demands of a queen, expecting customized suites in top hotels, extensive security details, and private jets. Meghan's extravagant spending while relying on others' money raises concerns about her claim of having her own career. Unlike Princess Catherine, whose independence seems genuine, Meghan's dependency on the royal family is now evident. This could explain why they remain so fixated on the family. And that wraps up our video. What are your thoughts on the king's approach? We invite you to join the discussion in the comments below. If you agree with our perspectives, please let us know. If not, feel free to share your point of view. Remember to like and share the video as your support keeps us going. Don't forget to subscribe for updates on our latest content. We'll be back soon. Thank you for watching and goodbye.